So I want to talk, this is a Happy Friday night, ladies and gentlemen. This is Kylo. Tonight I want to discuss some electronics that I fly with. And this is a continuation of a video that I shot in the yard the other day regarding this piece of kit right here. And we'll just play that right now.
Somebody got up early, the carport lights were on. Good morning, everyone. It's my day off. The humidity is 99%. The temperature is 68 degrees. The wind is blowing 5 miles an hour out of the south, and everything is soaking wet out here. I'm evaluating the terrain conditions. I've got a student that's coming out to do some kind of training. He's in from out of town, and when a student is in from out of town, we always capitalize on whatever the conditions offer. So in this case, if the ground is not too wet in some places, we may do some ground handling. Again, the light winds and the wet ground tend to lead me to think that may not be the best move. So we're probably gonna mix it up a little bit. What we're likely gonna do is perhaps some motor hang check exercises, go through some throttle, some wearing the motor on the ground, kind of getting used to it. This particular student has only had 1 day of ground handling, but in that 1 day, he was able to learn how to basically reverse kite. Wasn't the best day. It was light winds, it was rainy. Yeah, the ground's kind of mushy. There's actually enough wind to do it, but you know, when that glider starts getting wet, that's just gonna take away from everything. So something that I wanted to do is instrumentation. Now, my typical free flight deck setup has been an Oudie. I've got this Oudie Basic. I've had it for years. I got this thing maybe 1 year after I started free flight. My first year I just used a plain $60 Skybeam Vario. That was the one that I learned to thermal with. It was simple, cheap. You turned it on, it beeped when it went up. This one quit working a lot of the times. This past season I started having trouble, so I switched over to an XC Tracer. Now the XC Tracer doesn't have a screen or a readout or anything, but it does have an exceptionally good Vario. And I talked to some other guys who use this, and they were telling me what I needed to do was update it. So I updated it recently, and I'm just gonna see if the thing cranks up. We're gonna try that out and see what's up. We're gonna boot it up. There he is right there. Good stuff. So we're gonna turn this thing on and we're gonna see if it boots up and if it comes to life immediately. It's been off for a few weeks, but it takes it a second to boot up. And what was happening was I was turning it on and it was never connecting to the satellites. And if it doesn't connect, for some reason, the barometric variometer quit working or wouldn't work. Let's see, boot up. Come on, bring it, Oudie 4, bring it. But we're just gonna watch it and see. Okay, here we go. Push power button, we're gonna confirm, okay. We're getting the boot up screen. Moment of truth here. We're gonna just see. Okay, now we got the screen. This is how I've got my flight deck set up in case you're curious. Let's see if it works. You know what, I may have the sound off. There's 50%, let's try that. Ha, it works. Okay, I think that was my problem. I hadn't updated it since 2017. I thought the damn thing's working fine, so why do an update if it's working fine? All my life I've been of the mind if it's not broke, don't fix it. But it broke, so I fixed it, and that's where I'm at with it now. All right, I'll turn it off. I'll try it a couple more times. Then maybe next time I break it out, I'll be good to go with it. Yeah, we'll talk more about instruments. I might make a video about specifically some of the electronic stuff that I carry along. Maybe we'll do that. But for now, gotta get with the student. We're gonna learn some stuff. So I'll see you guys in a little bit.
We're gonna discuss all these electronics, but my favorite piece of flying kit, brand new, never worn, YALL, not endorsed. Oh, they've got dust on them. I'll have to wipe them off. Not on this shirt though. I wonder if they come with a little cleaning kit. In fact, I know they did. There it is right there, so that you can do the initial wipe. Eyewear is very important. I'm a prescription eyeglass wearer. I have astigmatism in both eyes. I pass all my tests without prescription eyewear. I have that much visual acuity, but when I put these prescription glasses on, whoa. Wow, I've got like the Terminator glare. Try to get the shiny off of me, huh? Maybe here, what are we doing? Oh, caught it, didn't do it. I'm a poor videographer. I just do this on the side, like it's my side thing, but I'm trying to learn. I could take the time to set it up proper, but I got a good green screen going, so I'm just gonna sit here like this. It's Friday night. I'm gonna have a beer. Ozone sends me these cool ass little keychains and beer openers, and I guess that's what they're for. So when you're doing a video on flying or flying electronics on Friday night, you can have a Corona Familiar. It's the first drink of beer I've had in this year, 2020, the new decade. This is my first sip of beer. Let's talk about what I got going on here. I don't carry all this all the time. This is the flight deck from my free flight gear. Flips around, you can cover all this stuff up, whatever. I don't always have it on there. I don't always have it covered up, but it contains everything for you. This is just a charging cable. It's usually tucked in the back right here anyway. Speaking of the back, it's got a little pouch with a safety mirror, a whistle, a spare battery. I forgot that was in there. I put another one on the front just for the video, but there's my spare battery case there. Usually this is not what it looks like. I stuck everything on the front just so it will be easy to carry it back in from the truck. This just zips into my Woody Valley harness. So yeah, having the flight deck itself is nice. Most of the time when I'm on the motor and I use a flight deck, I'll carry 3 pieces of this kit, all right? I might have the other stuff with me, the phone, obviously. You want to have a way to communicate. Anytime I fly, I have at least some way to communicate. If I'm on a cross country or by myself, if I'm not just flying circles at the field where there are other people around, I often fly alone. And I think I made a video recently talking about that. But I've got a couple comms here. I've got the Garmin Inreach Mini. This is a satellite text message machine. It works anywhere. You can send safety messages, SOS. You can call in the cavalry. If you go down in a notch canyon and you got a shot up the sky, you can send a text message to somebody and you'll probably get out. It's pretty nice. You pay for a subscription for that. It's about $24 a month, unlimited tracking. I think a whole bunch of text messages. I don't know the details. I'll pay the money. I like to have the option, okay? A cell phone at the minimum. You want a cell phone, okay? That most of the time, that's the way I'm communicating. Turn everything on, make it look cool. Such a terrible videographer. Let's unlock that. Now, I get asked all the time, what apps do I use? I don't actually have that many apps. This Oudie right here, I use this Oudie for like the majority of everything that I do flying. If I need navigation, if I need airspace data, if I need metrics, you know, my ground speed, my climb rate. It's got a built-in variometer. Works good, works excellent. I've been using it for years. I've got it configured to the screen that I like, the colors that I like. Lindsay Matush kind of showed me this scheme. Her scheme looks similar to this. Look, that got moved around. You can move stuff on the screen and then lock your screen. That's how easy it is to like customize the face of your Oudie. Like I like it to look like that right there. And then when you're done, you save settings. Yes. All right, and then when you turn it back on, it'll be just like you left it. And every time you turn it on, it'll go back to this right here. You can adjust your volume and stuff. All that stuff is configured. I recently got it fixed, of course. I just needed an update. Now it works. I've tried it 3-4 times at this point. It works every time pretty quick when I turn it on. So that was the fix. I didn't have to buy anything new. But in the meantime, I did. This is the XC Tracer. XC Tracer is a little Vario. Now, which one is this? But I want to say it right. XC Tracer Mini 3 GPS. This is it's an accelerometer. It works instantaneously. This one, I'm not going to link it up, but it works quicker than the Oudie. This is an expensive one. This one has Bluetooth capabilities. There's no screen on it, obviously. It's simple. It's solar powered. It Bluetooths directly to like the phone here. You can open this app up, links up to Fly Sky High and transmits the data over to the screen there. And you get all your metrics actually from the highly sensitive variometer GPS. And it's got more accuracy than the GPS in your phone and the variometer. It's got that and the accelerometers. It works instantaneously. Half second faster than the Oudie. This is just a variometer. It's a XC Tracer, but it's just called a Mini 2, and it is just a Vario. That means it's fully charged. 2 beeps. Okay, it's ready. Oh, you gotta turn the volume on. I want you to see the difference in sensitivity in these instruments while we're here talking about it. figure how the difference is? Takes about 1 inch. 1/4 inch won't do it. Oh, maybe. If you move this one 1 inch all day, nothing happens. That's the difference, guys. That's why I like the XC Tracer. And this is just a Vario, and it's an expensive one, but it's nice. Instant feedback, solar powered. This one you gotta charge up. You know, there's that. Now you gotta hold the button down to turn it off. Just like that. I put Velcro on the back of everything. I like the flight deck to be soft Velcro, and most of them are. And then you put the hard Velcro on the back of your phones and whatever else. And this iPhone, I just use it just for stuff like the flying the drone or whatever it has. You know, some stuff works good for Apple, some stuff works good for Android. Being like a content creator, and I have to mix and match stuff quite often, getting footage from people, things like that. You can airdrop it over to an iPhone easier than you can an Android. They also have an Apple device. That's just me. You're only gonna probably have one or the other. I don't have really any flying apps on the on this here. Maybe GPS test. I use that sometimes. It's a little GPS app. Pretty cool. It gives you some metrics. It's not going to work in the house. Also, this serves as a GPS. It'll give you some basic stuff, your altitude, speed, direction, very accurate GPS. All these instruments on here are GPS capable, except for this one, variometer. It does not have GPS capability. Neither does the spare battery. Outside of talking about the stuff that comes on the helmet, like comms, I do carry radios sometimes, and especially in training scenarios where I really want to have that instant communication, I'll carry radios on board. I like to have that capability if I need it. That is it. I hope you liked the video. Happy Friday night. The glasses are great. I've been able to look at everything and see everything clearly. I like to wear them, you know, for a little while when I get them, when they're new. And that way I know what I'm getting into. I know if there's like a spot that's uncomfortable on my nose or my ears. These are pretty nice. They're a little stiff at the back, but they're low profile. I always try different models. The last models broke right there. The little nose things broke off of them. Nice. But that's the flight deck. Most of the time I just fly with the phone, but if I am gonna use a Vario GPS, I got that option now. The XC Tracer Mini GPS, it's also a data logger. It logs your flights in KML and IGC files. I've only ever used IGC files. I'm not even entirely sure of the difference between those two formats. It logs both of them for you. It's a record every time you turn it on and it connects GPS. It'll log wherever you go with it. I mean, even if you're just hiking or driving, it logs the data. You got a GPS logger there if you ever need it for like an evidentiary type deal. Prove that, you know, you weren't in the wrong. If some heavy-handed cop decides you were flying in his airspace and he didn't want you there. It's happened to me. It's happened to me. Benton Sheriff's Department need to just slow down. Them boys, I wasn't over your airspace. That story, I'll tell you that story another time. That's it. That's it. Happy Friday. It's supposed to rain tonight. I don't, training operations tomorrow.